Mm. Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's Cataclysm of Hyrule campaign. I'm the creator and GM of the campaign, Puck Finn. For everyone joining us tonight, welcome. Before we get started tonight, we're going to go over some introductory things, some announcements, some recaps, introduce you to the players, and then we'll get right to it. So, first thing I would like to talk about is our Discord server. Our Discord server is where everything happens. As I just kind of like sitting here playing with the lights, I usually do. Our Discord server is the place where everything happens outside of the broadcast. We do. It's the place where we make a number of announcements. Like if something were to happen where we can't broadcast, it does not happen frequently, but it does happen periodically. Uh, you know, that's the place where we make the initial announcement. When we post videos onto our YouTube, we will try to post the announcement then and there. And we have a number of channels that are meant for interactive purposes. We have voting. Oh, we have a voting channel up right now. Yes. So, last week during our chat session, I'm going to be taking a trip soon and seeing my good buddy Deacon, and he has offered to, for the occasion, make some macaroons. And so in our voting channel, we have all the different flavor of macaroons that Deacon can make. So we're going to keep that up. We're going to keep that vote up for a while. Any tiebreakers, I will act as the designated tiebreaker because I'm going to be the one eating them. And yeah, so if you're part of our Discord, all you need to do is bring up our Discord, go to the voting channel, see all the different flavors that Deacon can make, and simply react to the ones that you will want to see. And you will. I will. We will take pictures and we'll put them on our Discord so you can see them all and see how wonderful a job he has made. But yes, that is our current voting situation on our Discord. But we have artwork channels, we have voting channels, we have loot channels, and yeah. So our loot channels. I haven't talked about our loot channel in a while, but our loot channel is something I really enjoy. So one of the things that you can do on our loot channel is you can claim a free daily. You can claim once every 24 hours. And this will give you a Moblin crate. And a Moblin crate will let you open anywhere between 1 to 100 coins. And you can use these coins for various things. And these things are listed in our loot channel. But off the top of my head, there are things such as, there's a number of things, but our most popular purchase is the cookies. If you've watched this campaign for any length of time, I'm sure you have heard mention of the cookies. And what these cookies are is they are cookies. They're D4s meant to augment rolls. Now, I word that way because you can use the coins to either purchase D4s for the heroes or D4s for the villains. And yeah. So we've used these a number of times. We use these often in boss battles, but if you are feeling particularly nefarious, you can also purchase coins for the villains. However, if you don't want to sit there and claim a daily every day, or if you just, we do have the ability. My Venmo and I think Cash App are listed in our introduction. In fact, let's take a quick look. So I'll take a Yeah, under donations accepted, those are the Venmo and Cash App handles. And that lets you purchase coins. So, yeah. That being said, so moving on to, okay, so to get on our Discord, if you're not part of it, you can go check out our link tree. Our link tree is linked in chat. Thank you. We now have Lito back as moderating, and I'm very happy to see that. Very happy to feel that. But if you check out the link that is posted in chat, that will take you to our link tree. Our link tree has a number of posts on it, including our Discord, our YouTube, and our Facebook group. Our Facebook group also makes posts when when our YouTube videos goes live. In fact, it's a little more dependable than mine when I post on Discord. I do post. Yes, that is Lido. So when if you're a part of our YouTube group, you'll see when our YouTube video. If you're part of our Facebook group, you'll see when our YouTube videos go live. And then there's our YouTube videos. So the link to our YouTube channel, the Cataclysm of Hyrule channel, can also be found on our link tree. And that is where we post all of our campaign sessions. We produce a bi-weekly campaign, and in the alternate weeks, we do what's called the chat session. And the chat session can be any number of things, but the general format is we talk about previous episodes, which has happened, what we think is going to happen. We talk in greater detail about certain mechanics. We do special reveals for certain things. One of the things that we revealed last week in our inner chat session was we released the Unfog of Ward Forest Temple. Now, our heroes are destined to go back to the Forest Temple. We are not completely finished with the Forest Temple. We have Saria in the tunnels below the Forest Temple. We have Kiwako still locked inside the Forest Temple as Rico has resealed it to prevent Kiwako from escaping. And it is unfinished business. So, yeah, in order to help hasten the upcoming trip to the Forest Temple, whenever it may be, I gave a little sneak peek about the area, the entirety of the Forest Temple, specifically the area that we missed and how to navigate to it. From a certain perception, it does feel like it could be a decent sized spoiler. However, since there are so many different paths in the Forest Temple, it would be counterproductive to put the party in there again and just go navigate your way. All of the enemies are gone, but we saw last week where they were and where the party would have encountered them. So we will just kind of be able to, rather than putting the focal point on determining which direction we're going to go, which hallways, we can put the focal point on progressing the story. Yeah. So that is why last week I did show the Forest Temple unfogged. Yes, and our last session, session 58, was posted up on YouTube today. So feel free to go check that out. You can see the thumbnail. The thumbnail is specifically Kiwako trapped in the Forest Temple. So yes, but without further ado, let us announce the existing party. Let me just make sure I don't. Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that. All right. So, to my immediate right, we have. Oh, it would help if I turn their mics on. Over to to my immediate right, I have Deacon. How you doing, Deacon?
Hi, doing all right, man. How about you?
Doing all right. Keeping busy.
That's cool, man. I'm glad to be here. Looking forward to the session.
Yes, me too.
What I'm really looking forward to is the man to my right.
Yeah. Oh, we need to put him back on. Okay.
Uh-huh. Oh, whoops, didn't see that.
Uh,
We do.
we do. All right. So let's see. All right. So let's now that we have a full party again, let us figure out where this is going to go. Here I'm gonna put this over here, and oh man, let's see. This is not gonna be pretty with other missing players, but we're gonna do our best. So let's see. The tokens. Now I'm gonna put I think stuff in. I think that's like the gully spot, but gully is currently missing. So we'll figure this all out as we get on. All right. So, in his triumphant return to the campaign, Lido, how have you been, Lido?
I am doing great. Back from horrors of college. To have fun, take names, chew bubblegum, and invent new problems.
Nice. That is good to hear. I'm. Let me see. Actually, let me just see if I got that overlay a little bit better. Say hey.
Hey,
All right. All right. Got that overlay. Perfect. All right. So,
say
yes.
ho. Ho.
We have been given kind of tidbits to what you have been doing in your absence. As I said, like while you've been off, you know,
Elephant.
bettering yourself with education in the real world, Leto has continued to exist, where he kind of had to abandon his group about midway through the Forest Temple. Um, he went
Personal reasons.
for personal reasons, yes, and rest assured for the viewership that those these things will kind of like come out in organic fashion because that is one of the wonderful and fun things about tabletop role playing is you can build it into your character. You don't need to sit here and just talk through exposition. So
Made sure to take care of things. So that way, things will happen in the future that I've taken care of.
exactly, that makes
This is just
perfect
sitting with
sense.
my thumb up my butt.
And I see that we currently have a vote for lemon curd as our first vote of flavor. All right. I believe last week during our chat session, Deacon specifically pointed out lemon curd was one of his more favorable flavors. Ooh, I gotta load that up. All right. So, last session we had a tiny technical problem where I was not able to use my GM screen because running the GM screen and running the screen that you guys are seeing was just causing too much stress on my computer, and the hamster fell off the wheel. So rather than try to resuscitate the hamster, we ran the last session simply without a GM screen, which we found out was possible. So great. Um, so all right, Leto is not currently with the party. Leto is still currently doing his own thing. And um, Deacon, where did we end the session?
Get a hedgehog. Run fast.
What?
Need to get a hedgehog if the hamster fell off.
Oh. Yeah. So, did we lose Deacon?
I don't see his mic going on.
I don't see it's like going on either.
He might have had to go like he told us.
All right. So, well, okay. So you know what? While we are,
Hey,
hey,
sorry about that. I had to step away for a second, but I am back.
okay.
Sorry about that.
So,
I sorry. What I miss?
um,
Sorry. I
wh-
heard you guys were trying to
World
ask
is on
something.
fire.
yeah, the
Oh no!
whole place burned down. You missed it.
Oh.
Where did we end the last session? Where did we end session 58?
We're in the library.
Yeah, we did end it in the library, I believe.
Okay. All right. Okay. So that's why.
I've been watching.
Yeah.
S-
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes. All right. So you know what?
So, yeah,
Uh,
I think, yeah, I think, sorry. It was like right as we got into the library, it ended at that.
okay. So you know what? I'm going to move the party. Okay. So because I just it kind of like I answered in a way. I kind of like answered my own question because I'm sitting here and I'm like I didn't have my GM screen and I was like I know that we didn't um end the session in Hyrule Castle Town. Like so yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let me get this set up properly. That's the map in Hyrule Castle Town. Okay. So you guys are in the you're in the library. You've done your crab walk dance. You've started to
Yes.
look for information on phylacteries, and I see that Gully just jumped on, so he'll probably be jumping on chat in a second. So, let's start this off with Lido. Let's start this off with Lido at Lon Lon Ranch, and I think right now we're kind of a little bit early in the day, but working on a ranch, that means Lido's been up for about 6 hours already.
I think it's probably about lunchtime, and then probably kicking somewhere on the ramp.
All right, so that will put so we'll take it at we'll start the session off with Lon Lon Ranch, and we will set the day so that Lido's at the ranch. He's with Malin, and they have done their morning chores, and they're starting to settle in for an early lunch. Now, Lido, you have not been there this entire time, right?
No, other places.
Okay, so roughly, you know what? I'll say it's been about a week since. Yeah, it's been about a week, give or take a couple days. That you have kind of like left the party to take care of things. So in that span of time, how many days have you been at Lon Lon Ranch?
Probably many there.
I'm sorry, Mike cut
I'd
out.
say probably about 3 days.
About 3 days. Okay, all right. So so you're sitting down for a bite to eat, and it's just you and Malin. She says to you,
Enjoying your company.
yes. She says, Lido, I know it's only been a few days, but I have to say it's been really nice having you around the ranch.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to relax for a little bit, get everything off my, I like how our relationship is going. I have to be honest with you. I think I need to go back. I'm
So soon?
not saying that I don't like being with you or anything, but just like a wild animal, being in one place too makes me kind of crazy.
Well, I mean, I hope that's something that, maybe can change at some point in the future. I mean, I don't, it's been nice having you around and it would be uh nice having you around more.
Enjoy being here. You're pretty. And put me on my back leg whenever you ask me questions that I don't know. I need to take care of what's going on with everything in Hyrule before I can really you know, settle down officially. Not saying that that won't happen soon. I'm just saying right now I will come back. I promise you that. But I need to go check on the guys to make sure they're okay.
Okay, well, I mean, that's understandable, but you know, and she kind of like um hands you a box with like a little makeshift like burlap ribbon on it. She says, "Well, I before you go, I wanted to give you this." She
And they
hand
open it,
uh,
tying then
and as you see, it has like it's got a locket inside of it, and when you open the locket, one half of it is empty, and the other half of it has a picture of Malin in it. She says, "This is just something, not because I think you're gonna forget me or anything, but um, sometimes it just helps to have something to remind you what you're fighting for."
hey, hey. And he just leans in, for the first time actually kisses her.
And
And
they,
pulls back and like, is that okay? I should leave. Should I leave?
I mean, if you need to go, you need to
Sir
go.
again.
What was that?
I kiss her again.
And she kind of like softens at the shoulders a little bit, and then she's like, and then she kind of like after pulling away, she leans in and gives you a kiss, and she says,
Now I don't want to leave, but I know I have to. This is so hard.
"Well, I don't think I'll be going anywhere at any point. So, if you ever get weary on your travels, you always have a place here. But right now, I understand that forces bigger than myself are depending on you.
Oh, it won't be long because we're gonna have to come back and solve the hell problem anyway. So shouldn't be that long. I need to find out where they are first. So a little while. So you'll have me around for a little bit more.
Okay, well, while you're making your preparations, I'll see if I can gather uh, some things for your friends. Maybe I don't know if they've had a bite to eat or anything yet, but you know,
No, Stuffin really likes the milk.
I will be sure to pack a jug just for stuffing. So okay, so at this point, Lito's getting ready to depart from Lon Lon Ranch, um, and right now we have Deacon Gully and stuff in the library. Which, by the way, welcome, welcome, Gully.
Welcome, Goalie. Welcome, Stuffin.
Hello, hello, hello.
All right, awesome. Okay, all the voice bubbles are working correctly. Wonderful. Um, do, 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 do. Let me just kind of bam. All right, perfect. All right, so um, so you guys are in the library, looking up more things on phylacteries, gathering more information, um, and it seems that the more stuff you find, the more a whole new realm of possibilities are beginning to open up to you. We raised the question last session, a number of questions, but two questions that came to mind specifically are: can Gully get a phylactery? And the answer is yes. Gully can be a sage that has a phylactery, and Gully theoretically, everybody can, anybody can have phylactery. And the secondary question was, um, is it inherently evil? And the answer to that was no, because the thing that I pointed out last session was every outside of the whole phylactery chain with Bell and Iturbe, all phylacteries that have been possessed thus far in this campaign have been from evil aligned characters, specifically Ganon, characters that have aligned with Ganon. So it's very possible that that it is not, well, it is not a tool of evil, but it is a tool that is most heavily being utilized by evil at this moment. Yeah, so we are continuing to research. We are learning how they are made. We are learning how it is a it is made by means of a celestial bargaining, and yeah. So as we continue on down that research path, um, before we get into it, I'm going to say that Deacon, you do have kind of like, as you look around this library, you get an odd sensation like you are being watched. That being said, where are we beginning to go in the Mystic Library?
So, to be honest, one of the things I wanted to look for is just like, I'm gonna do my reading practice for the day. Okay, I don't know. I'll probably just look for anything that's like, like, how do I put this? Like a little more magically type words and stuff for me to learn. Maybe look for that kind of thing.
Yeah, so you're just practicing reading on random magical words?
Shrug. I mean,
Yes.
honestly, sorry. I mean, I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of because like Deacon
No.
can't actually read, so there's nothing he can really look for.
I love it. And what can possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just
Yeah,
randomly sounding out
so-
magical words.
Correct. I think it's
So,
what he'd do.
how-
If it doesn't end well, I'm sorry.
Maybe Stuffin is just. I think Stuffin is taken to more than just phylactery book. Like he's picking up a lot of stuff and just starting to read it. He's really curious, and maybe he's like sitting next to Deacon. And I can just imagine the two of them, and he's like pointing to this like archaic language and teaching Deacon these magical words. And sometimes
That sounds awesome.
he's reading out phrases that he can kind of like pronounce, but doesn't actually know what they mean or what the magic. Like the phrases that he's saying, if they have an impact or could have an effect.
I kind of love it. Just completely. I don't know. I think yeah, it's like I accidentally cast a spell that like doubles my leaf growth or something. Like I develop a leaf mustache that like disappears when I sneeze, like a la Wild Magic Surge. Tiny, well, I accidentally summon a lemon.
And you
instead of a
accidentally
demon.
destroy your red ring.
Oh no. Now how will I look like I'm autumn flavored? Now how will I look pumpkin spice? Sorry.
Again, this word that I'm pointing to right here, don't ever speak that word aloud. Nothing good can happen if you say that, right? Don't accidentally do it.
Okay. So I'm not supposed to say power word kill.
Now
it could be.
What Stefan is pointing out is not actually part of a magical incantation. It's just the F word.
Power word F?
Power word F.
I love it. Done. Deacon looks suitably terrified and he nods. Okay. Promise never say that word. Yes.
So, you know what? I will say that everybody can add a cantrip to their character class, and the spell is called Power Word F. It will state that as a bonus action, you may use Power Word F and add +3 to intimidation checks.
I love it. I write this down.
So, okay. What else are we looking at?
I feel like a kid in a candy store who just wants to like eat stuff.
It is really quiet in here.
Are there any people? I mean, I don't know about the last time thing, but are there other people in here?
And everyone's lighting up. But I can't hear anybody.
Can't hear me? I think
Hold on.
Buck has been deafened.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
Too strong.
I I knocked the volume down on my headset. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay. Welcome back.
So, I completely missed everything after power word F.
I said I'm gonna hold you to that.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I think we're just having a good time.
Oh yeah, you missed the question of if there were other people in the library.
Oh, thank you, Gilly. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, there are other people. They do look familiar. Quite possibly, very many of the same people that you saw the last time you were there.
Oh, because I haven't been here before, so.
Oh, okay. So, to those who have been in the library, certain familiar faces do kind of strike as if the people that were there last time have been here this entire time, continuing to research. But yeah, I would say to nobody else does any faces seem familiar.
Honestly, I don't have much to look for. But Stuffin, is there anything you think you would like look for? Deacon's gonna ask you like what your new favorite, like if you have a favorite subject or anything that we should be studying. Like if, you know, just if you guys have any thoughts as to like what would be the next thing we hunt down, since we're kind of learning about the phylactery stuff. But if there's anything else,
I want to look for books on Kome and Kataga, and like I don't know. Seems like they're really dangerous.
like a history. I mean, that's a good call.
Yeah, like
maybe
they're
we
got to
could
be
find, like,
referenced in some books or something, like histories of witchcraft.
Yeah, they were ruling Gerudo Valley at one point, so maybe we could find some like history there.
Yeah, powerful witches. I want to know more about. I mean, who knows if Kome will be like. Oh, Kome is going to be dangerous, right? Katage might be. Faka Witch knows a little bit about them, I think. She could be dangerous too, but not necessarily.
Definitely. So I'm currently wearing my Gerudo armor, which gives me advantage on history checks with things pertaining to the Gerudo Valley. Can I use that to help Stuffin find some books about Gerudo history? 1 second, I'm going to see. Okay, I guess I didn't.
I will say yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Thank you.
So,
am I rolling history or intimidation? Oh, not sorry, history or I want to intimidate. I want to power F on the books.
Power F on the books.
Give me what I want.
Yes, that would be a history check to look for books pertaining to historical beings.
Okay. I'm much better at investigation than I am history because I'm not from this world. I don't know as much about it, but I will roll history regardless.
All right.
Oh, can I also make the history roll like Osai? Or like give him advantage?
Yeah, take advantage from Deacon.
Okay, that would be a 15.
Okay, so with a 15 being rolled, we're going to circle back to Lido, and Lido, explain to the group why Deacon has a feeling that someone's watching him.
So, Lido is in Lon Lon. He is scrying, looking to see where you guys are, and picked specifically Deacon because he's got the closest connection to him. And that's why.
Yeah. I see. I assumed the library was just creepy.
Nope, just awesome GMing. No. you see them enter into the library. You see them crab walk into the mystic part of the library, and you see you see Deacon like trying to sound out words. You see him helping stuff, and you see him kind of helping him comb through books to try to find any type of something. At this point, we'll just say that they are looking for something from your perspective. And but yes, a library is a very easily distinguishable place.
Been there.
Yes.
So I am going to go over to Malin. I know where they are. I'm going to be heading out. I will see you very soon. Give her a hug.
Mm-hmm. She has a big kind of carrying tote in her hand, and after you hug her, she hands you over the tote, and in it is a stuffing-sized bottle of laudanum milk, a smoked lon shank for Gully, and
For
a container of freshly picked fruits for Deacon.
Okay.
And then she also pulls out what looks like a giant, well, not giant, but like a big kind of bowl of wool. And as she unfurls it, it's a sweater, and she puts it on you, gives you a kiss on the cheek, and tells you to come back safely.
I will. And I will head over to this grassy patch that I have, that I've grown here, and see Olivia plants, and go to Cito's. That's the easiest place to get to, and then check in with everything there, make sure everything's good, and then I'll go towards the library.
All right. Quick party question. You guys have not been back to Cito's since talking to Isaac last. Like, he still has the green vials.
Yeah, he still has them. As far as I know, well, he's had the green vials for ages.
Yeah.
I get those. But yeah, I mean, we went in there to check up with God, there's one thing recently, but I forget what it was. Shit. But we went to talk to him last session. That's all I really remember.
Okay.
About oh yeah, about the bacteria stuff you were talking about. That's when we last saw him.
The bacteria.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, refresh me.
You said the little magical bacteria stuff that's like growing on Deacon's leaves.
Okay, the red leaf magic bacteria. Okay, yeah. Okay. So
That's
Lito,
the last time we spoke to him.
perfect. Lito, when you pop into Cito's and you're checking in, Isaac gives you. Let me see. He sent out 3 vials, right? He sent out 3 syringes. And then 2 came back. So he has 2 green vials. So Isaac hands you 2 green vials, Lito. And he says that the research is done with these, and if you have time to explain, if you have time to hear the explanation, he can explain it. If not, he can explain it later, but he wants to give them to you either way.
I will listen to the explanation since I have no idea what's going on.
Okay, so this is pertaining to when the party initially went back to the Fire Temple for the first time, and you run into that hulking Yiga. And after battling with the Yiga, you found 3 syringes with green liquids in them and brought them to Isaac to have them to gather any information that you could. So he sent him out to a contact because it was not his particular area of expertise, and then it had come back sooner than later, but it had gotten lost in his drawer and he got distracted by other jobs. So when recently questioned about it, he made sure to keep it on his desk and to essentially like get it off his desk as quickly as he could, because it was nothing to him anymore. All the information that could be gathered was gathered and retained. So,
God, I love Isaac.
he is very like to the point. So he takes time to explain to you that this is a type of reanimation serum, and what it gives is it gives a deceased target that is still of function, meaning like it can't be like skeletal remains. It has to be a body that still has like muscle fibers and things like that. It reanimates the body for 10 actions. Now, this can be used any of which ways, meaning it gives, once the 10 actions are resolved, the body then ultimately dissolves into nothing. It just gone and melts. But prior to that happening, the target has the ability to consume those 10 actions and move, pointing out movement, to, well, not to you guys, but movement is not an action. But any of those 10 actions can be taken in any way that you see fit. So say, for example, you can reanimate a corpse with this and create one action that is essentially 10 combined attacks, or 5 combined attacks, or any which way. It hyper agitates the body so that the more of a toll you put on this body, the quicker it will resolve itself. Okay. So assuming that like this is something that you are also going to divulge to the party, and rather than revisiting this, I will simply ask, does any, now this is 2 separate vials, and also they have to be injected. They cannot be consumed and they cannot be applied topically. They must specifically be injected. So that being said, questions?
Yeah, Puck. You said 10 actions. You need to take those actions like 10 turns in a row?
Mm-mm.
Or can you be like, use an action one day, use another action another day?
The action is referring to any essentially combat-based actions. But in terms of this, taking a long rest would also be considered an action. So the actions themselves can be stacked, I guess would be the best way I could put it. So you could use, 5 actions at once and then not use any actions for the rest of the day, and that would count as 5 actions being used at once, and then the 6th action being the long rest. But aside from that,
Okay,
yes.
When you say stack actions, you don't mean one turn just takes 5 attacks, right?
I absolutely do.
What the fuck?
Reanimates the body for
Holy
10
shit.
actions. And you, like, your
That's
party
scary.
being the target that would be doing the reanimating, the party, the person that is, or the target that is reanimated will be at the control of the reanimating party, so you guys will have full control over whatever you reanimate. Again, as long as the body is a viable body.
Mm.
And disintegrations in one turn, right? Like, be really powerful. It's a caster. Does the long rest rejuvenate the body in any way?
No. The long rest
I have a
simply
question.
extends the longevity of the body by utilizing an action to extend it for another 24 hours. So, but by that, like, so for targets such as this, long rest is not sleeping. Sleep is not something that the target will need to do, as they will not be alive or in need of rest, but simply the act of needing to survive another 24 hours, which, for points of simplicity, referring to a long rest, would count as the action.
Okay. Got a question then.
Yes.
Let's say we use it. I'm just theorizing. Let's say we're fighting Ganon in the future, and let's say Gully falls dead.
Mm-hmm.
If we use the potion solution on him,
Mm-hmm.
gets 10 actions, let's say he attacks 10 times in one round, and then is dead again, and I still revivify him.
There will be nothing left to revivify.
Okay. We'll check
So
it.
they turn to goo.
Yeah, they are completely as in the same function as if they were affected by the disintegrate spell. Them in their entirety would cease
Oh.
after the 10 turns are resolved.
Oh.
Let's say we're up against a really bad BBEG.
Mhm.
Gully gets killed. Could Gully then cast power word F 9 times, and then do an intimidation check at plus
okay.
27?
What are you
Mm,
doing?
yeah.
All right, it's on fan
well,
mode right now. So
yeah, he could, because power word F would be considered a cantrip, and he could utilize it 9 times as 9 out of his 10 actions. Absolutely.
Man, you could really power word them up. What a way to go, Gully. What a way.
Interesting.
Be like, most epic death ever.
I like how everyone's like,
Won't stay
when
dead
Gully
for
dies.
long.
I know,
Won't
it's like
stay
all
dead
these
for
examples
long.
have to do with Gully dying.
Gully's like, I could do
Well, Gully
other
was the
things
one that-
besides die.
Run it up.
We're just going with the
reality
fact that Gully's going to be front and center in most battles. So he's most likely to, get the blunt.
Well,
And also, if
I don't
Gully
think that
dies,
makes him feel better.
that's like 90% of our damage right there. So we need him to come back.
And our longevity. Like, if Gully goes down, we're kind of fucked.
No, we're not. I have, if I can get enough money, the way to reincarnate him right then and there.
We also have
That's
giant
fair.
chicken, so I think we're safe.
That's true. Oh, we do have Chimkin.
Yeah, we've got Chimkin.
God, yeah. No, but yes, I think our priority should be keeping Gully safe and sound on the front lines instead of, but yes, Gully, I promise we're not going to let you turn to goo by resurrecting you this way. I promise. This will not happen to you.
Uh-huh.
Unless your last wish is like
Wow!
with
You
the
don't
needle.
believe me?
Oh god.
Let you die. You have to suffer like the rest of
If Stuffin dies, you can totally use that on him.
Hell
Yep.
yeah!
We're gonna make Stuffin dash straight up in the air 10 times, and then watch him rain his goo down on the battlefield.
Dribbles milk 10 times.
Oh man.
Anywho,
So
We could
yes.
Sacrifice Chinkin. Beak attack 10 times, rip apart an enemy.
Okay, so
What happens if you inject it into somebody who's alive?
basically the properties wouldn't take effect, you would think.
Yeah, because it's a reanimation effect. So so we are dealing with specific vocabulary here. So I'm going to word it as if to say, if injected into a person who is alive, it will not have an effect.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yes, that is very important wording.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, okay. So technically, Lito's still at Cito's. Anything else? Anyone you want to talk to before you depart and rejoin the party?
Basically, it's just checking in to see going if they got my note type of thing.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So they got. So they said that they absolutely got your note. Everything is going business as usual. Business is booming. Yeah, and
I will wish them a good day, and I will start heading towards the library.
all right. So you walk into the library, and the first thing you see is the librarian, and the librarian gives this surprised look to see you, and they're like, "Oh, today is an especially busy day at the library," and then goes back to their work.
So, okay.
Asshole.
It's a particularly busy day. Okay. All right.
How big is the hole that you have to shimmy through?
I mean, Gully fit through no problem.
He had to shimmy, right?
Yep. You got to do the crab walk.
Well, I'm going to use Alter Self and just make myself as tall as the hole and just walk through it.
All right. Trying to casually walk through the hole. Well, it's not so much a hole so much as a mythical doorway where you would walk through a bookshelf. But in attempting to walk through the area that you're aware that you would need to walk through, it feels very solid.
We'll stay small and then crab walk through.
And you're able to go through without an issue. And
Crab Brave intensifies.
so let me see. I would imagine. So we have Stuffin and Leto who are pouring. Stuffin and Deacon who are pouring through books, and I would imagine Gully is situated rather towards like the entranceway, kind of like keeping an eye on things.
Oh, that's what everyone would think, but Gully has fallen asleep with the book in his lap.
So Lito, you come in and the first thing you hear is the very subtle snoring of Gully as he is situated in what looks to be a rather not exactly comfortable chair, but he is down for the count while reading a book. What is the name of the title of the book you are reading?
Wow. Jeez. Um, um, it's
Raging for idiots.
We could
Xanath,
make that a poll in the Discord channel.
the unabridged version of Xanathar's Guide to Everything.
There you go.
Nice.
Nice. All right. Understanding the unabridged guide to anything would put me to sleep as well. So
Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if the regular book is about everything, what's the unabridged version like? More than everything?
Exactly.
Everything
Mind-blowing.
else.
Everything is long format. 10 times the word just describe one thing.
Very flowery prose.
Every sentence begins with the phrase "in the event that," and then it just continues on regularly.
Excellent.
So that is your first view of what you find inside the thing is Gully asleep with the book, and
Massive book.
massive, completely massive, and Deacon and Stefan are combing through books and do not yet notice your presence.
I will go into the sack that was prepared and bring out the large leg of whatever it is,
The smoked
and then
bonbon.
slowly, yes, and waft it towards Gully to see if he'll wake up.
Golly, the smell of a smoked lon shank fills your dreaming nostrils. How does it, before you wake up, how does this affect your dream?
Well, seeing as how he's kind of going through like a Alice in Wonderland phase in his dream, it probably just makes it even more trippy.
All right, so Gully is having a psychedelic dream, and while there's
everyone's a lon.
and while that happens, pointing out that everyone that is in the library as he falls asleep is also present in his dream, and they are all doing exactly what they're doing in the actual library in his dream. So everything weird that he sees, every kind of like, trippy tea party and, psychedelic sky, at every given point, there are people just feverishly trying to study books and like do not seem to be interacting with the rest of the dream, but they're just there. And, not even noticing that, or giving reason to notice that they're in a dream, but slowly in Gully's dream, he starts to smell this incredible aroma, and he's quickly transported back to Lon Ranch in his dreams, where there is a field of smoked lons alive and grazing in an open field. And then in his dream, this ship comes down from the sky and starts to pluck one by one these smoked lons off of the grazing field, which causes
Come back, lons. Come back.
Poor Gully gets so agitated by this dream that he like jerks awake, and he sees Leto in front of him holding this smoked lon shank.
Oh, you've answered my prayers. Thank you, Leto. So good to see you.
Yep.
And even more so, that lon you have there. Is it for me? Can I have it, please? Thank you.
All yours, D.
You're the
for that.
best.
I give it to him and then start looking for the other two.
With a full mouth, he points in different directions.
So, as you venture deeper into the Mystic Library, not that hard to find Stuffin and Deegan. They are the most animated people in this library, and yeah. So I would say, like, what's going on is Stuffin is kind of like situated at a table, just very quickly thumbing through books. And at this point, a number of books have kind of been stacked to the point that you can kind of tell, like, these are ones that he's looked through, these are ones he's going to look through. And in a moment, you can see Deacon kind of going back and forth, just throwing books on the not yet thumbed through pile as it just keeps getting, like, bigger and bigger. And the bigger it gets, the faster Stuffin is thumbing through, just looking for, like, a keyword or, an illustration or kind of something. And that's where you come in.
It seems like you guys are busy. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Deacon, did you hear something?
Deacon, like, if he had ears, they would, like, perk up, but he doesn't. You just hear, like, the rustling of leaves as like he just stops. And then, like, he peeks out from behind like a giant stack of books. Like, he's carrying more books than he is physically tall at this point. And but he looks over and he sees Leto and he drops all the books. I am going to I'm gonna run, like, just slide underneath the table and go run and give Leto a hug. Leto, you made it back. How are you? Worried about you. Been gone a while. Got your letter though.
A lot of things that were going on. Take care of them. But I'm back now. And I brought gifts.
Gifts? Oh, wow.
So I will take off the bag and reach in and get out fresh fruit for you.
Oh, thank you. I love these. Imagine one's
Stuff,
like,
and I heard you back there. Brought you something too.
Oh, Leto, hey, how you doing? What? Why are you here? I'm a little concerned. Because how can I put this? I'm a little concerned we're all gonna get trapped here, and you are like our escape valve. Like, you were the person that needed to come get us out or find a way to get us out if we all got trapped in here. But you're here now, so
still hugging
we'll have to
Leto.
find
I
someone
chime
else.
in. We trapped in here together, at least. Yay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that I think we'll get trapped in here, but I've seen a lot of people who've been here in a very long time.
Yeah, but
they get
you
kind of
and me
sucked
both
into the
got out
books.
last time. Remember?
What are you doing, Leto? Said you brought gifts?
Yes. Here, and I hand you a jug of milk. Fresh from Nunlun.
Oh. I thought you were talking about animated pictures. You're talking about presents.
Yes.
Well, that's nice. Thank you.
Welcome. What exactly are you guys doing? It's very fresh.
So
I would say right now it's probably about 10 minutes old.
Ooh.
Right.
So Deacon has like he's munching on an apple, but so at this point, when you ask what they're doing, I would say Deacon just, like, excited kid with his parents home to tell him everything he did at school. Just nonstop, just outlines everything that they have been through over the last, like, week. It's just like, and then, and then we found Kiwiko, and then we summoned the
I know who
mansion,
that is.
and then
Okay.
yeah. So literally, like, just I'm not going to verbally narrate it because it would take too long. But
Sure.
what I'm saying is, like, I will just fill him in on everything. Just that's the style. It's just like, and then, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the information. Good to know. Multiple
To
questions.
kind of summarize things a little bit, we were trying to figure out like phylacteries, and we were trying to figure out how to save Trixie,
But
Kiwiko's
Trixie is
phylactery, and
Ohage, who's evil.
Yes.
so Trixie's not evil, but Trixie is kind of like the shell of Katage, who used to be evil but may not be evil. Um,
Okay.
embodied by the spirit of what seems like a very hungry spirit named Kiwiko.
Is
It's
evil.
all very confusing, and there's a lot of K names.
Kiwiko is evil.
Well, Kiwiko certainly used to be evil, but Kiwiko doesn't have any life force now, and Kiwiko, who's now goes by the name Trixie, well, we named her Trixie, doesn't know that
No,
she used to be
Kiwiko
evil.
is the spirit, and Trixie is the little girl, right?
Oh, sorry, I'm confusing you. Yes, Katage. Yeah, Katage didn't know that she used to be evil, and Kiwiko, the spirit, is just mainly like hungry, but comes off as evil because she tends to devour like people's.
This is
Energy.
still the creature that was
Energy vampire.
siphoning off of Arya, who you guys defeated, and then tried to run away, and then you found out she was attached to a kid.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. Then it wasn't a kid. It was, Katagi. And my sympathy kind of evaporated at that point.
Makes sense. So, Faka Witch did it for Mr. What actual power did she get by making this deal?
I was gonna ask her that, but then she shoot us out.
I thought Faka Witch didn't get power yet, but she convinced Kome to take all of Katage's power. So Kome must be like super powered up, and in exchange, the Faka Witch was gonna get Trixie as like a servant or something like that.
It did seem something like that, where it's like, Katagi is currently like she doesn't remember anything and stuff, so but she was described as the payment for like the deal that Kome made with the Faka Witch. So calling like the person the payment, I don't really understand. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now.
Questions about that?
Oh, me too, buddy, me too.
Yeah, we have a lot of questions.
First, what powers does she get? Does it matter on if she's alive or not? Question number 1. 2, can we make a deal with the Faka Witch if we can get rid of Kiwiko? Is that okay to just bring her? Because said she's attached, and if she dies, then it dies. But if it dies, she also dies.
So wait, oh wait, like Kiwiko, you mean?
Yes, if Kiwiko dies and Trixie dies, if Trixie dies, Kiwiko dies. You can't separate the two.
Yeah.
But if the Faka Witch made a deal for Trixie, then there has to be a way to kill Kiwiko, because I don't think. Right?
Because you don't think what? You cut out for a second.
Oh, Kiwiko.
I don't think
you can't kill Kiwiko because Kiwiko has a phylactery that's Saria's heart too.
Yeah, so as Puck told me last session, like he had said, the heart thing does not actually matter. I was mistaken in that, and I apologize.
We can just kill her and I have to worry about the heart.
Yeah, the heart, like, she'll still respawn, but is apparently, like, she's gonna come back in, like, Ganon's dimension, like with Tico, or how Tico would have if we didn't break his phylactery. It's like they respawn, like over, like, in the throne room in Ganon's thing, not at their phylactery. It was explained to me.
Yeah.
So
Actually, seems like a good idea then.
yeah, that's kind of where I was at, unfortunately. But I wanted to ask Crowe what to do, because he dealt with these people in the past. I just feel
Okay.
like he might have some insight.
Oh, Dr. Crowe. What
Yeah,
about
I mean,
collectors? No other ways of destroying them? Is that Fate Redder isn't needed to destroy it, just needs to be something stronger, right?
that's what we're aware of at this point. I just don't know what's stronger than that yet.
So in
It
terms
might
of
be worth asking him.
in terms of power hierarchy, what we know about this right now is we know at the perceived top of the food chain is Hylia and her evil counterpart. We know that there are the party's main target right now is Ganon, and the phylacteries that we've dealt with have been made through Ganon. And something needs to be more powerful than that which created it to destroy it. Therefore, Fate Render is more powerful than Ganon. And that is what we have gathered thus far.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what exactly Fate Render is, but we know in terms of phylactery destruction, we know that it needs to be more powerful than Ganon. Or, excuse me. We know that Fate Render is more powerful than Ganon, but less powerful than the ceiling. So
I
most
have a question for you then.
yeah. So most importantly, like there is a notable gap between someone on Ganon's level and someone on Hylia's level.
Tiku, here's the question.
Mm-hmm.
I have that spell that can do, like, Legend Lore, right?
What? You can do what?
Legend Lore?
I have to duplicate that spell. I don't actually have it.
Oh, you can do that. Maybe we try it on Fate Render and find out what it actually. That way we know officially if it's good or bad, evil or indifferent.
Okay.
I wouldn't recommend doing it in here since things in here once you leave are wonky.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna level with you. I feel like we should do that in a field or something.
Wait. Oh, and let's go talk to Crowe. If you guys are done here, and we'll go out to a field, Legend Lore thingy, and after that, I have a couple of other places that I would recommend we go check out.
Sounds good. Is that okay with you guys, Gully Stuffin?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, but just I need to take a few minutes after we leave here to jot some notes into my notebook, so I don't forget things.
Sounds good.
That's part of the thing that happens in here. If you write down anything, you can't take it out.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Unless you write it in your brain.
Yeah, you can history check it and remember it.
Okay.
Yeah. If you guys are all set, even next steps.
Okay.
Okay, so I would like to
wait.
I would like to take the time. Okay, sorry.
But before we go further, I have to circle back and address the history check before we completely move on. So Stefan's history check. As you guys were looking through the books, you found a few notable things. You found a few very old tomes that did specifically mention Kome and Katage by names. Judging by the note of these tomes, they look old enough that they're falling apart, that I would say that you could comfortably deduce that Kome and Katage have been around for a very long time, far much longer than that of a natural Gerudo. And given the 15, I would say you also found one previous passage talking about two elderly Faka sisters that does not mention them by name, but also mentions that they were responsible for raising a previous Ganon to make a separate attempt on taking over Hyrule. And there was one other thing that I wanted to mention, but it has currently escaped me. So, if I recall what that was, I will divulge that. Oh,
Are you implying the fuck? Oh, okay, sorry.
The other thing was a book you found spoke of an ancient tome. And one of the notable things about this tome is that it has the ability to separate the person that is the target of the incantation. And as it states, it uses the phrase, materialize a separate but not less true version of themselves. The tome itself is very old, very cryptic, but it is, when thumbing through it, it was definitely something that kind of piqued your interest in a way.
So, okay, I have to ask, can I ask you a couple questions?
Yes.
So, okay, first question. Are you implying that, we can summon our other selves or something from, the other universes with that last book?
Give me an Arcana check.
Okay, my specialty. Do spells work in here?
Non-aggressive ones.
One.
But passive ones, like stat boosty ones.
Yeah, like stat boosty ones, things like that. Essentially, things that would help you study are not nerfed.
Okay.
But if you wanted to cast a fireball in here, it might be an issue.
Valid. Okay. So I would like to actually, you know what, I'm just gonna say all four of us. I'm gonna cast it a 5th level enhance ability. So we all have advantage on all intelligence checks for the next hour.
So. Dully will touch Deacon on the head.
Thank you.
Power word up.
Yeah.
You got this.
Thank you. All right. Let's go. Okay, 16.
16. Yeah, it sounds a lot like that's what they're talking about. The passage says it specifically makes acknowledgement, something that would be very weird, cryptic, and off-putting to the average reader, but given knowledge that you guys are aware of, it specifically talks about how everyone's body is simply a husk, and that sometimes the husks can get overcrowded. So so the spell is intended to alleviate the crowding.
Can I want to go show this to like Leto and Stuffin.
Now keep in mind, this is a passage describing something that somebody saw. This is not the actual spell or incantation in itself. It is a first-hand retelling of something. But yes, with the Arcana check, this is information that you've gathered.
Okay, so I'll go excitedly share that with them.
All right.
I'm sorry, I missed. What was the book?
The book, a passage in the book was a first-hand telling of. You know what? I don't know if have we ever explained to you the what every person has inside of them.
No.
Okay. All right. So,
yeah, I don't think. Oh man.
You know what? Sometimes things have been so long ago, and you've been with us for this long. I forget things that we haven't told you. Okay. So, when the Cataclysm happened, the Cataclysm was a convergence. And what it did, it took every character from every universe, and it condensed them into a singular entity. So how Stuffin has memories of the way that his initial universe used to be, his home universe. The reason that he has that is because all Stuffins have been condensed into the Stuffin that you are now. Now, that doesn't mean you are an amalgam of those things. Quite the opposite. Every Stuffin from every universe is inside the body of Stuffin. There is a dominant personality that takes hold. So what can happen is in times of extreme stress or enough training to do the know-how, the personality that is at the forefront of any person can either lose control or temporarily relinquish control to a lesser version of themselves, and that version can come to the front, be it willfully, forcefully, or any number of other ways. This has happened.
You could just do that whenever?
It can happen at any time, but it happens like with triggers. So this has happened once before with Leto, where he's had a character that we have come to call Dark Leto. There was a point where just a lot of things were really just coming up bad for Leto, and his stress got to the point where he just had a small mental break, and we saw this other side of him come out. So this other side of him that came out was still Leto, but it was a different Leto, and this one that forcibly took control of Leto's body in his time of being in a weakened state, did some bad things. So sometimes, that's not to say that every dormant personality is a bad personality. That just happened to be how that manifested itself. So there can be other stuff there are other Stuffins inside of you and other everyone's inside of everyone that can come to the forefront, so and I will happily answer any questions at any point you have with that, but bring it right back to like the here and now. Is what the book is saying is that whether everyone realizes it or not, they're cramped. There is a lot of one person living inside of a husk of a person. And it is possible to remove a being from their husk, is what it's saying. It's not telling you how to do it, but it is noting that the author witnessed it as a first-hand action.
Oh, it's kind of ironic that I named Stuffin', isn't it?
Nice.
Never thought of that, but yes. So, yes, Deacon explains this to you, and you do like feel a little bit confused, because it's a lot of information to take in at first, and then automatically probably uses like the comparison to point out that when you guys first met, that was essentially like the beginning of this adventure for you. That was the beginning of this post-Cataclysm timeline for you. But the reality of the matter is, you were here this entire time. Your consciousness is what came into being. Yeah.
Kind of like waking up from really long nap, where you have really long dream. Sometimes act different in dream, but really you still there when you wake up.
When I was younger, I experimented a little bit with psychedelics. I feel like I don't make everything make more sense right now, because it just doesn't. Can I say I like mushrooms? Make a great psychedelic omelet, by the way, if you ever want one.
Ooh. I imagine psychedelic is one of the words Deacon just learned.
Just some shavings. Some psychedelic mushrooms, a little bit of kind of like a really well-aged cheese.
Nice.
That's good.
I mean, if you throw a little bit of shave smoke Lon shank in there, I'm sure you got Gully on board.
I mean, how do you feel about when you make omelets? Do you put Lon milk in it, or do you water in it, or do you just leave it alone? I've always been, I don't know. Someone taught me to put Lon milk in it, but then I think that's kind of maybe like not the best idea.
Lon makes it creamier if you make creamy eggs, but like if you're just making normal eggs, I just leave it be. That water thing sound weird. I think that
I think that's a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to like help fluff up the eggs or something, steam them, but I don't. It just seems silly to me.
I ever make those like famous eggs where you stir them a whole bunch with all the butter?
I've made something like that without eggs.
Ooh.
Just lots of butter in a pot and stir it up.
Ooh.
It makes a really nice soup. Maybe a little garlic in there.
That does sound nice. Took bite out of stick of butter once. I wish I didn't do that.
Yeah, it's better when it's warm. You just like sop it up like soup.
Some crusty bread in there.
Okay, I think we're getting off topic.
Anyway,
here.
sorry. Right. Another one. Anyway, so yeah, I put the book away, but I look very excited. So yeah. This means maybe you see, and I wiggle my fingers like this is to imply threatening. Other deacons.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe maybe they also crazy Deacon. Like time Leto went little cuckoo bananas.
I do not think that it is coincidental that we saw the other side of one player and nobody has wanted to revisit that since. It's like, oh, that's what lurks on the other end of our consciousness.
Oh no.
All right, so let's see. Okay, so I think
Okay.
okay, so we found some more good book stuff. We found some more information. We have had our goodie bag of gifts from Malin, and
Oh no,
I
I
think we're
just
heading
realized
out. We're
something.
crab walking out.
crab walking
That
out.
sounds good. But I just realized something.
Stuffin's gonna like grab his journal that he left behind outside, and as soon as he gets there, like write down as much as he possibly can.
All right. Since you plan to head for it, I will give that history check an advantage. But Deacon, what have you realized?
I already have advantage on this, thanks to Deacon.
For my spell.
Oh,
Can I
that's
also
right.
give him an inspiration?
Yes.
Nice.
And
I don't
guidance.
think I need. I got a nat 16 for like
hell
a
yeah.
27 or something.
All right.
Guidance and inspiration.
Guidance
D12
and
and
inspiration.
D4.
Okay. What is
D12
inspiration for you
inspiration.
now?
D12.
And a D4 for them.
What's another?
Power to. There you go. You got it.
1, 6. I think that's like a 33.
All right.
Excellent.
All relevant information is able to be recorded. But Deacon, what were you saying?
Oh, I was just gonna say Lino gave me a bunch of like fresh fruit that I have been eating, and now everything I touch is a little bit sticky. And this is why you don't let children into the library.
Nice. All right. So, Gully, Lido, Deacon, anything else that you would like to do before heading out?
Nope. I hope my sticky fingers leave the library, like are left behind when I leave or something. Like I hope leaving undoes the stickiness on all the books.
So I would like to say, just to like keep it going, that the ward protecting the library against aggressive spells shall henceforth be referred to as Power Word Shush.
Love it.
All right, so you make your way out of the Mystic Library. As you come out, you can see stuff in like writing down every absolute bit of everything that he could possibly like that had any bit of importance. So that would include, and if I have forgotten, if I've forgotten anything, please feel free to chime in. But that would include the fact that Kome and Katage have been historically documented to outlive the average lifespan of a Gerudo. They have raised more than one Ganon. They have also, or that it is possible to separate a personality from its husk. Of course, a husk being a person's body, but I'm using very specific terminology for very specific reasons. And is there anything else that was research that is worth mentioning?
Information on the phylacteries and stuff.
Yes, the phylactery informations,
Last week.
including the diagram that was found. Yeah. So.
I just also got to say, Lido, you seem really happy Like, it's nice to see you so happy. Everything going well for you? I hope you're feeling really happy.
I'm doing quite well. I spent some time taking care of my sisters, setting up things, the future events, and then I spent some time with Malin. Let's just say that's going really well.
Oh, no wonder you
Uh,
happy.
But
I'm excited for you. We're all excited for you.
thank
Mm-hmm.
you. I do have another question for you guys. Going with the
Mhm.
phylactery thing. So, if you make a phylactery, you basically get Ganon to come to you, spirit, to make the deal, right? According to your research?
Yeah, you've got to kind of make the deal with an intermediary, sort of like a lawyer, right? And the lawyer makes the final contract. And
Let's say he does decide to come to us, and just by chance, we're in your shop stuffing where there's that safe, right?
Mhm.
Would we somehow trap his spirit that comes to us in the safe, and then really then there's no more Ganon?
You could try it. Although, like, if you think about it, like, whenever a phylactery is made, there's part of like the soul of the contractor or the middleman ends up in. It's kind of weird. Like the middleman is the person that ends up in the part of in the phylactery, but
Well, we're not
there's
going to make
lots
the
of
full one.
Ganons.
Like start
So
the
maybe we
process,
could,
and then when he shows up, we'll type with it.
yeah, but we need to like convince him to show up, and I don't know how to get him to show up exactly. And we have to convince him that it's worth it too. And it doesn't
Something to
have
think
to
of.
be Ganon, but if you want to
Well,
like put someone in prison, it seems like Ganon would be. That makes sense.
it would be the most optimal one. It
I
can be
think
used for that
that's.
spell.
I feel like that's like too dangerous. Because what if it doesn't work?
And at least have Ganon on our plane of existence, and we try and destroy his soul.
But Ganon is also just a symptom. Like, it's the witches that are the real problem, right? They're the ones that keep summoning Ganon. If we could
Yes,
get
but now
rid
there's
of.
only one, though.
Yeah, well, maybe we could use Age's body or something to like husk, to like lure Kome the jewelry shop and try to trap Kome.
All the ideas that work, try them out. I think we need to take care of
I
the
mean,
stuff first.
we need to learn how to trap witches, quite honestly, too. Maybe the Faka Witch could help us. I don't know if the Faka Witch wants to help us. But
Well, if we make it worthwhile,
yeah,
whatever she's getting a servant out of, Trixie, that's helping her. But what if we hold Trixie for ransom?
That is
I'm not
awful.
really
That is
I don't
not
really
going to
want
go
to
well
treat
for us.
Trixie like we're gonna like kidnap her or like trade her like she's some possession or something.
Well, no, it's the fact that Trixie right now is stuck in Forest Temple.
Yeah.
What if we make a deal to get her out of it, and the Faka Witch does something?
We could try something like that. What could possibly go wrong?
You're well,
Just throwing
that's.
out ideas.
I understand. I think, generally speaking, like we probably shouldn't try to get one over on the Fog Witch. I think
Well,
she could be a good resource, but
we're not getting one over. It's more a deal. We're helping her, and she's going to help us. Right
I
now,
got you.
she can't get out literally of the Forest Temple, which means she will never have a servant. Which doesn't that, in theory, then break her contract with her sister?
we don't really know what her contract is. She would kind of say she was happy with the situation that she was in, which is why she wouldn't help us solve the problem unless we did something else for her. Like, or at least that's the impression I got. Like, she she never like made an inkling that she needed to bring, Kiwiko or anything to her. I mean, we could ask, but yeah. I think it would be good to consult with her either way, though, just because, like, I'd like to see more of what's going on with Kome. As I feel like, regardless of what side we fall on, we definitely need to handle her sometime, probably sooner than later, But obviously, that's just like still on the horizon. If I had to, yeah, So yeah, if we have plus, there's potential for other things that can be done there.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, honestly, it's definitely worth asking the Falco Witch, if there's any kind of, like way she could help us at this point. Yeah, I honestly, I think as long as we're like, fair and straightforward, I think she'll remain, not fucking us over in any open way, at least. So, I think you're on the right track. I think you're on the right track.
We know
I definitely.
what not to do. We know not to contact her via head.
That's true.
I
I
guess
gotta go find Andy.
we need Andy because we know where she is.
Oh, I guess that's true. Yeah, she's in that like cave, right?
I don't know. I haven't been there yet.
That's fair.
Just going by what you guys told me.
Fair. Sorry. Yeah. I think she's in this cave. Fuck, do I have any idea where the cave is, or is there some magic-y stuff that I'm not privy to?
I mean, you are aware of the location of the cave.
Okay, that'll do.
You could try teleporting there.
Ah, shit, I don't have anything from there. I didn't think about that.
Peter looks over at Gull and goes, "Teleport us without it."
Oh, wait. I actually do have something from there. I take out the piece of paper that we were given from the witch. The one that got, like, needles struck into Gully's hand that he gave me.
Mm-hmm.
Still have that. If you want to go there, we could.
Oh. Want to go talk to Crowe first and then do that?
Yeah.
Here
let's
right
go.
now.
Yeah, let's do that. I want to see what he has to say.
Okay. Let's go meet Crowe.
In the meantime, Stuffin, do you know who Crowe is?
Now, I mean, is it a bird?
Crowe?
Surprisingly not.
The easiest way to describe it is he is adult Link who doesn't want to be Link anymore. Is now known as.
Well, yeah, he's already been Link, and people like
The
eventually
hero
stopped.
formerly known as.
Exactly.
All right.
Wait,
so
is Link that dude who always seems to like save the world, but then the world
Yes.
falls apart again, and so like all his efforts were for naught, basically.
And that is exactly his problem. Yes.
yes. So what it is Crow is a character. So Link is a name. In this campaign, it is the title of the hero. It's the prophetic name. It is the prophetic title of the hero, not the hero's name. So this is Link, and people who were around to see him battle Ganon last time, would know him as Link because that's how he is referred to. But his actual name, his birth given name, is Crow. So, what happened after the events of his last run-in with Ganon, initially everything was great. He had his parades. He had his 15 minutes of fame. Local celebrities saved the kingdom, and then it was over. And he spent pretty much the rest of his life up until this point lost because he had no more purpose. Ever since he was a child, he was groomed to be this incredible, savior of the kingdom. And then once the kingdom was saved, he was, from his perspective, tossed aside. And he has spent every moment since then resenting that, because now he is just lost. He is currently residing.
Yes.
Yeah, he is currently residing in Hyrule Castle.
I got like gifted kid syndrome,
Yeah, exactly. Peaked way too young. So many people, put way too much on him, and now he is, just a shell of his former self, trying to figure things out like everyone else, which only seems to make the situation worse. So that is, in a nutshell, that is Crowe. So, are there any other questions that I would say that you would ask the party on the way that I could explain?
Does Crowe have a favorite sandwich?
What?
It's a very good question.
Well, I'm
we
just
actually
thinking, like, maybe I'd cheer him up. I got a bunch of stuff in my pockets. I could make him a sandwich, and I'd cheer him up.
I mean,
inspire him to be his better self.
You could try. You could try, but the topic of a favorite sandwich has not been discussed.
Okay, so let's see. A little bit of peanut butter and some salami, and maybe cucumber. The cucumber's a little withered, but that'll be fine. Some crunch and some sog.
grow you a new one.
Oh, okay.
I will druid crafting. Need another cucumber for him.
Oh, that's much better. Okay. Peanut butter, cucumber, and salami sandwich. Oh man, that was my favorite when I was young.
We mix the peanut butter with jelly where I come from.
Oh, that's weird.
You sardines where I come from.
Peanut butter and sardine?
Yep.
Ooh.
It's the peanut butter
Gross.
normally, because we don't really have. It's more like a sardines.
Oh. That makes sense. Does Zoras have bread?
No.
Oh.
We normally use kelp or seaweed.
Okay.
Or like what you guys would call like a lettuce wrap.
Ooh, that sounds nice. Okay. That sounds good. Seaweed, not that bad.
No.
Good with a little miso soup.
I don't know. I know it's normally, if you salt it the right way, it's really good.
I
Maybe
imagine
after we save the world, we should start a restaurant.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Yeah, but then we put Superb out of business. I don't want to put Superb out.
True. That's a good point.
I don't know. We'll make a
Superb
restaurant
has been
district.
good.
People be coming Hyrule from like miles away just to eat food from all the great restaurants.
Excuse me.
It's the Hyrulean equivalent of Michelin.
The problem with that stuff is we still have to pay off our loans, so I really don't want to be in debt forever.
Oh.
Especially who you're indebted to.
Are you
Just so you know, like sometimes, like with things like loans, if you just ignore them, the problem will go away on its own. Keep that in mind.
It's
You know
true.
that,
They can't do anything after 7 years, right?
Called loan forgiveness.
Wait, that means I only have 2 more years on my loan for Cedos?
I'm just joking. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm not good with paperwork.
It's fine. Let's go see Crowe.
If there is a 2-year
I was just going like
expiry
dumb.
date, it's probably not a preferable expiration.
Oh no.
you have to expire first before the loan goes away.
Yeah.
If you die, we'll just inject you with that serum and have you pay off the loan 10 times in a row. It'll be all
Oh
set.
God.
And easy payments.
I'm gonna say no. Thank you for the option. I really don't want to pay them multiple times.
No, 10 smaller payments.
Oh God.
We'll worry about that later.
Is that Crowe's house I see up ahead?
Crowe actually lives in the castle with Zelda.
Yeah, he lives in the castle, so I guess we'd have to pass by everything, like the armory and everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
At least like the front gate and stuff. So
All right, so heading out into Hyrule Castle Town Square, is there anything that any pit stops you'd like to make or anything like that before heading to the castle?
Sorry, I don't think so.
Okay.
Stefan, did you want to check in on your shop to see if that lady is there or not? That guy?
Oh yeah,
Stefan is going to walk by his shop, but he's not going to stop and say anything. He's just going to fly slowly by the windows, and when they see him, he's going to tap his eyes and just kind of look at them and nod, and then just keep going.
Okay.
Terrifying.
Down the...
Terrifying.
All right. So, with that, I am going to ask Stefan to hold on. I gotta create a note. Oh wait, that's on the wrong page. And that. All right. Quick question. What was the name of your jewelry place again? Is it just Stefan's Jewelry?
I think it was just Stefan's. Stefan's Jewelry Shop.
Jewelry Shop. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to. All right. I'm going to need you to make 2d20 rolls.
I just need to look up the name of the people who work for me again. Theo and Shelley.
Yeah.
High, low, or both?
Both. Yeah. What was your first one?
Can you hear me?
You're breaking up a little bit.
Hear you.
What was the number?
Okay. I got a... Fuck is vanished.
I think he turned his volume down again.
No,
Oh, yeah.
I can hear everyone else.
Fuck, I got a nat 1 on one roll,
Okay.
and I got a 20 on the... a 10 on the other roll.
10. Okay. And you...
And I didn't add any numbers to that.
Okay, that's fine. The wage that you offered them both was 5 a day, right?
8.
8? All right. Okay, that's right. All right, there we go. Okay. Gotcha. Do. Okay, I'm making a note specifically of your how the cost is going, how the shop is going. All right, so you make way, you pass through, and you venture into the throne room. So you go through. The guards don't give you.
The throne room?
You're going to Hyrule Castle, right?
Well, yeah, but we're looking for like Crowe, not like Zelda, so I wasn't sure if he'd be in the throne room or not.
Oh, honestly, I just figured that was always goes like the first place to check, and it's one of the only places. That
I mean, that's fair. That's fine.
It's one of the other places that I have done in the castle. So,
I mean, that's fine. I just didn't want to bug Zelda unnecessarily. So.
Well, it's also probably bad form to go skulking throughout the castle without checking in with the queen first.
True. I didn't think about that, but yeah, I see the logic there.
So you go into the throne room. Zelda and Kato are present. Crowe is not. And as you come in, well, I would say like, you meet Kato at the entrance to the throne room, where he is surprised but welcome to see you. And Stefan, this is your first time inside the castle, right?
I think so, but I don't know. I know I've met with Zelda before.
Okay, so there is
I don't know where it happened.
Essentially 4 main players in the castle. You have Zelda, who is the queen. You have Kato, who is the head of the royal guard, and you have Crowe, who we're going to be looking for, and the fourth and final person that we would run into that is part of this is Impa. But I don't think we have not met. Every time we've seen Impa, it has not been inside the castle, but Impa is technically Zelda's right-hand person, but in Impa's absence, Kato fills that spot. So that's just kind of like the bullet points I wanted to lay out for the matter. So as you approach the throne room, you find Kato. He is surprised to see you, but welcomed. He sees a group and he's like, "Oh, I see there've been some changes since the last time we've seen each other."
There have been?
But he kind of like makes a head gesture over to stuff, and he's like, I don't believe we met. And he extends a rather large, heavy-looking gauntlet out to shake Stuffin's hand. Because I am Kato.
Good to meet you. Good.
I am in charge
Shake
of
his hand
protecting the
vigorously.
queen.
Oh yeah, my name is Stuff and Fluff, and I am in charge of I don't know, just being the best darn fairy I can be.
Well, that's good to hear, and let me say I've dealt with this group for quite some time, and you have found yourself in good company.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I feel like so much stronger and like more in touch with my magic in the world around me than I ever have before. Pretty amazing, I gotta say.
Well, that's good to hear. I'm sure that you will need every.
Just being around Deacon,
I'm sure that you will need every ounce of what you have as you travel with this group. They have found themselves in some extraordinary predicaments.
Yeah, and we talked about maybe opening a restaurant at some point after we kill Ganon. I made a sandwich, but it's not for you. I'm sorry. I made it for Cage. But Next time I see you, I'm going to make you a sandwich too.
He appears a bit confused, but very well.
You want to see a spell that we just learned?
He kind of, his eyes kind of travel over to everyone else, a little concerned about casting magic in the castle. How do you guys react to that?
Shoulder shrug.
Honestly, I give him an inspiration.
He goes, all right, as long as it's nothing
show him
dangerous.
Nothing dangerous. Forward.
Did you just cast power?
And I'm just going to look like as scary as possible, yes.
Oh, man. He goes, well, all right then.
You feel a little scared there?
I mean, it does take a little bit more to frighten someone such as myself, but I'm sure you will get plenty of use of that out in the field.
You're so strong a spirit.
But you know what? Why don't I announce you to the queen, and we'll go from there. How about that?
That sounds good.
All right. So he kind of like opens the door to the throne room, and he announces your presence to Zelda. And when he takes his place by her side, and she beckons you to approach. As you approach, she's like, well, sometimes I feel that our meetings are becoming few and far between, and, well, I'll take that as a good sign. Huh. How have you been?
We're working hard. Running into small difficulties with Forest Temple, but for most part we on the path to handling that situation. So we're making progress. It is almost solved.
Anything that I could help with?
Probably not, but we're looking for Crowe actually. I need his opinion on some stuff.
That would make sense. I believe the last I saw him, he was skulking around the dungeon.
Ooh. Okay.
Queen Zelda.
Yes.
It's because the fact that we've been doing some research and whatnot. You by chance have a phylactery?
And Kato interrupts and he goes, I'm sorry, but that is not information so easily divulged that if that were the case, it would be a very well-kept secret.
Well, it's just a question, if down the line we had to worry about someone stealing yours, we would know you actually have one. Someone can't be like, no, this is hers, and we'll be like, no, you're lying because it's not actually hers because she doesn't have one.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah. I chime in that it would definitely help with clarity so that we can't be duped by that kind of thing. Yeah, if somebody says it's hers, then it's not, if she, just doesn't have one, I mean, that's fine, but, that would mean that if someone, showed us one and it had that kind of power, but it wasn't hers, it would be could fool us,
Well, I do appreciate your concern for my safety and well-being. However, phylacteries are not something that I partake in. I prefer to keep all pieces of me within myself. But you needn't worry, because I am the most well-guarded person in this entire kingdom, with many capable people around me. So it is not something that I would readily worry about.
Okay. Just checking. One less thing to worry about in the future.
I mean, who ever heard of a princess, let alone a queen, being kidnapped?
Well, from all the stories that I've heard, happens a lot.
Yeah, that dude Mario and his brother Luigi, they stay pretty busy.
She turns to Kato and she's like, "You told me it never happens." And he's like, "It never happens. You needn't worry, my queen."
That's a real life thing. It doesn't happen in real life,
Is that the
Good
same
story,
world
though.
as this, or is that like a different? I mean, it is the same property, right? The Mario world, and
No.
I mean, it feels like we could cast teleport to another plane and get there real easily.
I mean, temples.
At that point, we're just reliving the Mario Brothers movie, and nobody wants that.
Aww.
Depends. Are we doing the 90s one or the 2020 something?
I meant the 90s one.
Oh,
Okay, good. Yeah, that we don't want to happen.
I was gonna say Jack Black did a hell of a
Biggest
better job.
disappointment of my childhood.
I know, but it did provide one of the best cinematic lines ever, and that is, "Sir, the Goombas are dancing again."
Fair.
It's gonna go with monkey.
Yes. That too. So, yes, it had some redeeming qualities to it, just none of it had anything to do with the movie whatsoever. So, monkey. Yeah, so the
Do the Mario. Anyway, sorry.
Captain Lou, R.I.P. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah. So it's like, yeah, last I saw, Crowe was down in the dungeon, and I don't have a phylactery, so if somebody says that they have my phylactery, they would be lying.
Okay.
But you needn't. You have plenty on your plate, and you needn't worry about me.
Okay. Well, thank you, Your Highness.
Oh, thank you. And she's like, I believe you know your way, or would you like Kato to escort you?
We'll find our way.
Okay.
Actually, and then he's like, the dungeon. He's like, well, maybe Kato could get some exercise. Yeah.
Because it's really
Standing
dark
there
down there.
Yes, correct. There's the executioner guy floating around. Yeah, let's have Kato can lead the way. Kato can, he needs some exercise.
There we go.
I'm sure Kato's bored just standing around.
Exactly. It's more for him than you
gotta be
guys.
so. Yeah, exactly. Kato needs this.
Yeah.
It'll make him feel helpful.
Exactly. So Kato does have a bit of a chuckle because he completely sees through Deacon's facade. But it's like, yes, not a problem. It will take but a moment. and he says, if you recall, it is just this way. And he kind of like leads off to, I believe it was like a hallway towards like the left of the throne room, where there is kind of like a big, heavy, barred wooden door, and Cato lets you through it, and takes the lead in walking down the windy steps on the way to the dungeon. And it starts off kind of fairly well lit by hanging torches, and as you travel further down the staircase, the torches get few and farther between.
Kato,
Yes.
what is Crowe doing down here?
I don't know. I know what he's not doing, and that is, being all up in my. And then they get back to the bottom of the stairs, and he goes, "Crowe, there you are."
No, finish your thought, Kato.
Oh, that was my thought. He was here because he likes it down here, because there's all sorts of interesting things. There's people to talk to.
You were saying he was not all up in your, and then you stopped.
In the throne room, in the throne room, and but anytime he wants to come into the throne room, he's welcome to. But this is where I take my leave, and I'll be upstairs if you need me, which I'm sure you won't, because you are in fully capable hands with Crowe there.
He just peels Deacon off his leg, puts him down.
Yes. So yes, you are now down into the dungeon of Hyrule Castle Town, or of Hyrule Castle. I'm sorry. And there are a couple of open cells. There are a couple of sealed cells. Very few are filled with active prisoners, but it is not completely empty.
Is this the level that Tony was on?
Yes. In fact, the entirety of the dungeon is all kind of like one level, but it's broken down into like hallways. You haven't gone that deep into it because I believe Tony was like the fourth cell in, but it is kind of like almost like a small catacomb type dungeon where like the cells kind of like all the fronts face each other, and it's all done by hallways, like intersecting hallways. So Crowe looks to you, and he sees Deacon still with the red foliage, and he gives a nod, and
I wave.
He waves back.
Hi, Crowe. Hey, good to see you again. How have you been?
I've been good. I've been keeping to myself. Yeah. How have you guys been?
What brings you down here?
Just stretching my legs. Sometimes I
Insight
like
check.
to.
I want
Alright.
to insight that to see if he's actually stretching his legs.
All right, give me an insight.
Natural 20, so 31.
Holy shit.
There is a modicum of truth into the fact that he does have a tendency to just wander about when he's bored. However, he does. There is. He hasn't just randomly found himself in the dungeon. He is in the dungeon for a reason. And you can see that he is standing next to a cell that has a prisoner in it.
Does the prisoner look like he's been tortured?
You know what?
Oh.
What kind of check would be befitting of that question? Because
Probably medicine, right?
there are multiple checks that I could have you do with this that would yield different answers.
I guess I'd say either perception or medicine.
Okay.
I'm not really trained in anything that would really do this, so.
Okay. So if either one of those checks will yield a different answer, and I will give you an answer depending on how you roll.
Okay, I'll roll perception. Actually, I don't know. I'll roll medicine because Leto's got the perception.
Okay.
So I'll just
I
look
can do
for
that.
like I'll be looking for like signs of wounds and like fresh new wounds, if that makes sense.
Okay. Gotcha.
Anything that
And can I do a perception check to see if this person in the cell is scared of Crowe at the moment?
Absolutely.
I got a 17 on my medicine check.
Okay.
25 for perception.
All right. So checking for inflicted wounds, things that I mean, being prisoners in this dungeon-esque prison is going to yield you, you know, kind of like skin sores and things like that. You know, there is a bountiful population of rats down here that, you know, I would imagine that the prisoners are simultaneously fighting off and possibly consuming at all times. So there are all of the prisoners are pretty wounded, or without wounds, I should say. They are not without any wounds. However, with a 17 medicine check, none of those wounds seem to be inflicted by Crowe. He is not physically abusing any prisoners. Now, perception check. What was the basis of what you were trying to perceive?
I want to see if he's actually scared of Crowe or if he's like, it's like, there's nothing you can do me type of attitude.
He is not specifically afraid of Crowe, but he is not welcoming Crowe's presence. The interaction.
Or is he like in the back of the cell, or is he closer to the bars? That type of, like, is he like, I don't care and I'm near the bars, or is he more like, I'm staying away from the bars because I know you're going to screw with me son?
He is kind of so like the physical layout of the cell, going from like the back corner. So the back corner of the cell is stone, and then the other three sides are iron bars or steel bars, metal bars. So in the back corner of the cell is kind of like a hay bale type situation, or like a something where he'd sleep on, and he's kind of on the side middle, curled up and like holding onto the bars in like a fetal position almost. He is not afraid of Link. He is not worried that Link is going to do anything physical to him, but he is also not welcoming Crowe's presence.
Okay.
It is something that he appears to be, with a perception of 25. It is something that he is aware of. It is something that he does not welcome, and it is something that happens frequently enough that he has gotten himself into a psychologically self-soothing, comforting position to endure what is happening.
Gully?
Mm-hmm.
You were a guard once upon a time. Is this normal?
Well, I won't say. I mean, you come across all kinds of stuff as a guard, man.
Yeah.
All kinds of crazy situations.
And also pointing out that in the few times that you have been down here, there is not a large guard detail. so for all the jobs that guards can do, like on and off castle grounds, working in the dungeon is a very infrequent and rare job detail.
You never know. Well, he's been around for a while. He might have had to start with the crappy jobs, and
That is true. That is absolutely a fair question and a valid assumption.
Although I can't recall ever having dungeon duty.
you got lucky.
I guess so, because this would suck.
And by the way, there is a slight aroma of dungeon duty.
Lovely.
You had a question to ask him?
Sorry. I'll be right back. I'm really sorry.
Okay, you're good. All right. So, let's see.
Well, it's just more your military background and whatnot like that to make sure nothing's being pushed over the limit that a guard would.
Yeah, I didn't really have a lot of guard duties. I was more out in the field as a soldier.
But you probably took captives and whatnot, like prisoners. Or is it all killing?
Yeah, my forte was killing.
So,
It was worth the shot.
I mean, I wasn't that good. I mean, I wasn't really that good with trying to get information out hard, and when I was just trying to do a little scratch, I would actually slice their throat. I mean, it was just bad. I sucked at it.
But don't let you take prisoners.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to hold back. I've been getting better now, but back then it was kind of tough to control my swings. But I perfected a little bit more now. Now I know how to smack them with the flat of my sword instead of just straight slicing them.
Doing good. Lots of improvements there.
Yeah.
all right. So just to recap, what we have done is we have attempted a medicine check. We have attempted
Was
a
that enough time?
What was that?
Nice. So, Crowe, you've been taking out your frustrations. Sorry.
Oh, hold up, my mic is messing up. I heard Crowe, you have been taking out your frustrations, and then it cut out.
Oh,
The prisoners.
sorry. I asked him if he's taking out his frustrations on the prisoners. Just flat out ask him.
And he kind of looks at you in a like almost like a gasped way, and he's like, "No,
Oh,
no."
yes. You shouldn't do
Insight
that.
check
Crowe.
that just in case.
All right, let me know what the insight check is.
A 29.
29. He is being completely truthful.
Cooney's not lying.
Oh, okay. Well,
He is from his perspective doing absolutely nothing to bring any sort of abuse onto these prisoners.
okay. That's
His
good.
And it's from his point of view.
Well, yeah.
Doesn't mean he's not doing it
Good
wrong.
enough.
I mean, like from the prisoners' way he's conducting himself, he's whatever's going on, he is clearly not enjoying it. So perspective in this situation is very important, and he cannot see things from other people's perspectives. So yes, from his perspective, he is not doing anything wrong.
I just follow up the question with, so what are you doing? I still didn't really get that answer.
I think he's singing to him.
Oh, rehabilitation. See,
Oh yeah.
well, like, so every time that you guys have, like, every time they've spoken to you guys, like, things are, I mean, I don't mean to be like, any harbinger of bad news or anything, but it seems that things are getting a little bad,
Yeah. Yeah, I can't say you're wrong, Crow.
So, I was thinking to myself, I was like, I told myself for the longest time, like, this is not my fight. Like, this is not something I'm dealing with. This is, I'm not going to get sucked back into this. But then I was like, you know what? Is there a better chance at redemption than putting yourself in a situation where you can help the greater good? And we have these prisoners down here, and I was like, well, maybe if I came down here and talked to them a while and showed them the error of their ways, and then you can hear the voice call out from the cell. He's like, I just want some bread. And like Crow's like, you will get your bread when we finish. And he's like, but anyway, yeah, I just, if I shown these people that, that they're a righteous path, then I could do my part and to swing things in a more positive angle.
Hey, you mind if I butt in just a little bit? Like, you seem,
of course, Stefan.
You seem like you're a little down right now. I mean, I have to say, first of all, you're a huge hero. I appreciate everything you've done, even though I wasn't really around for that. I've heard amazing things about you. And here, I made you a sandwich. It was one of my favorites growing up. You're gonna love it. Peanut butter, cucumber, and salami. It's great, trust me. I think I want to cheer you up, and I think you need to value yourself a little bit more. I mean, don't you all kind of agree? Like, isn't he like full of possibilities and like, but living in the past a little bit and trying to avoid the past a little bit, and I just feel like there's more you could be doing with, your life and pretty much everything about yourself.
I mean, such as what?
I mean, think of your name. I just learned this about myself. I am actually full of not just one person, but many people. And my name is Stuffin, and it seems so appropriate. Like, maybe we have names for reasons, right? Like, your name is Cage, and
Crowe.
Maybe you've just been living in a cage a little bit, like afraid to bust out or something like that.
Crowe. His name is Crowe,
and
like the bird. Sorry.
Crowe. Oh shoot, I don't know. Maybe you've
maybe he is caged like a bird.
Caged like a bird. Why did I write down cage? I'm getting confused. Maybe you live in a murder. No, that's Raven. I'm sorry. You get the point. It's metaphorical.
You hear the cell calling, like, that sandwich smells so good. Did you bring another?
Yeah, I got something in my pockets. Not quite the same, but here you go. I give him like some soggy pieces of bread that are mashed together with something inside.
There you go. And he
It's all the special.
They're mashed together with a withered cucumber.
Yeah, the withered cucumber. It's like rolled around the cucumber.
Oh, he downs it like it is the best thing he's ever eaten. Just like the like crumbs from like like the wet crumbs just like spit out at you as he's like simultaneously like eating it so fast that he's choking.
Hey, man, what's your name? And like you've lived with Crowe for a while. Like, you think you can give some like inspirational, constructive feedback?
Inspirational. I'm locked in a box. If I had,
What'd you do wrong to get in there?
I mean, they said that I robbed someplace. You know, it was listen, it was this crummy little pawn shop on the northeastern part of town, and it was run by this scrawny little something person. It was run by this scrawny little blonde person and looked like an easy mark, and the person who did it, that clearly wasn't me.
I'm gonna insight check that because I want to know if he's actually full of crap or not.
All right, what you got?
Do you need to insight check that?
I'm just gonna verify. It's a 16.
16. Yeah, he totally stole that shit. So he's like stumbling over his words, trying to create the narrative of this story, but essentially what had happened was that there was a pawn shop that he broke into late one night, and he was able to make multiple trips, essentially emptying out the store's inventory, and on like the last trip to the place that he was fencing the goods at, he got caught with like a lot of rupees and like a trinket that had belonged to the store. Like there was just like a keychain that he was like, oh, this is nice, I'm going to keep this for myself. And when he got caught, he had that and the rupees on him. So he got busted.
Man, I just gotta ask you a question here. Were there any jewels in the stuff you stole from the pawn shop, or you didn't steal that someone else stole from the pawn shop?
I
Any
mean,
jewelry in there?
a couple. I mean, you know, I was you know, when the charges
Puck
were
has gone out
read.
for me.
Yeah, I didn't hear him either.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Puck, I can see your orb lighting up, but I can't actually hear you say anything.
Really? Hold on. No? Alright, hold on. I'm gonna rejoin Discord.
Okay.
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 Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Alright. So he says, yeah, I mean, if I recall correctly, when they were reading the litany of charges, I recall that jewelry was one of the overarching charges, but I don't know if it was, you know, necklaces or if anything was actually worth anything, like, you know.
Yeah, Stuffin like slaps whatever's left of the sandwich out of his hand. He's like, "You don't deserve this." Stuffin doesn't deal with jewelry thieves. We're done with you.
You can rot in here,
Jewelry thief.
jewelry
The
thief.
worst. You're lucky you didn't cut off your any body parts.
Yeah, I mean, if it was human trafficking, that would have been one thing. But jewelry, get out of here. That's where I draw the line.
I say maybe we're being a little too hard on him. No, you say describe this little blonde guy. I need him to ask. Is this Blink? Did he rob my boy Blink?
He did rob Blink. He robbed Blink to the point that Blink went out of business.
I'm gonna fucking kill you. I say that in character. I start like rattling the bars. Like, just let me at him.
Powered F, powered F, powered F.
Yeah. Forward F. I look at him. I just go, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And I just start shaking the bars trying to get in.
Like a little tiny fucking monkey on a
You don't rob
on a
from
chain
Philly
link
stores.
Correct.
You don't rob from pawn shops. You don't rob them. You ever get
My
out?
boy
You
Blink.
better know you're gonna. What? What can he rob?
Nowhere.
What do you want to rob?
No robbing. Robbing is bad.
Dad?
You can get a job. That's how he can stop robbing.
Get a job.
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's better. Yeah, get a job if you get out of here.
He's like, I don't think I'm getting out of here. I don't think I want to get out of here. I
You
thought,
don't today, that's for sure.
I yeah,
We're to F you up if you keep
exactly. Yeah.
oh my god. Yeah.
I would like to just like stop rattling the bars and just like look him right in the eyes and go, you don't want to leave, because that puts you in the same power word effing room as me.
Oh.
Deacon. Stuffin puts his arm around Deacon and is like, we should walk away, right? Or
Probably,
do
yeah.
something great over that.
That's probably true.
Oh man.
I want to end up in the same cell as like a
True. Put my boy Blink out of business.
Blink. Yeah, that's rude.
Alright.
We should go get that back. We should get Blink back in business.
We should. Well, you actually might not want that. Just because he was when I met him, he was an aspiring jewelry crafter, so he might be competition
No, I
for
don't
you at
mind
this point.
competition.
He
No,
might
no,
also
that's
work for
competition.
you, actually.
That's a
Oh
good idea.
shit! Did we just find someone to work at your store while you're away? Like making the
Maybe.
stuff?
I got 2 people already. I can
Yeah,
find
sure.
someone to make jewelry would be good.
Yeah, that's
Maybe I
what he
have
does.
Oh. Blink,
Yeah.
okay.
So right now in your shop we have Theo, who is going out and finding sellable goods to return back to the thing for a profit, and what was the other one's name?
Shelly.
Shelly.
Yeah. And you have her kind of manning the shop, making sure that things are being sold. So she's basically doing the counter work while he is doing the inventory work, but you currently do not have anybody to manufacture things on site.
Yeah, Shelly's like buying and reselling stuff. You don't have anyone to manufacture.
Right, we do not have a manufacturer at this point. I mean, if you want to try to have Shelly do stuff, but she's not that bright, and Theo is definitely playing to his expertise at the moment.
Right. Sorry, I know this isn't like a priority for you guys, but I do want to go help Blink now. Shit.
Yeah, I mean, let's think about it. We could either try to stop the witches that want to destroy the world and over again. We could stop Ganon.
Yeah, I know.
Successfully destroyed the world.
That's
or
true.
we can get this guy Blink at the job.
Okay, good point.
Let's get Blink.
Honestly, it's the easier, less emotionally conflicted decision.
That's
The other
true.
ones are like, what the hell are we supposed to do here?
That's fair. So Okay, I will eventually calm down.
I'm gonna do
Anyway,
a quick thing.
sure.
One, I'm gonna reach down to wherever the pieces of the sandwich are, and cast
And what?
gonna cast real quick. Nothing major. I'm just gonna cast Druidcraft on it and let it basically funginize. Basically, I'm turning it into just fungus. And then
Oh,
out of the fungus, I'm going to grow a little plant that I am going to then take and bring it over to the gentleman and just tape it across his hands real quick. Then throw it down the hallway. The plant I just created was poison ivy.
nice.
So now he
Can
has poison ivy on his hand.
Okay, I would like to just like use. Can I accentuate this slightly?
Sure.
I would like to use like prestidigitation to make that fungus that you just created just waft out the smell of like just the most delicious roast beef you can possibly imagine. It's got all the fixings. It's been simmered in like a wine sauce. You know, it's been braising for 3 hours.
Tell me that I'll change the color of it so that way it turns into like a brown fungus.
Perfect.
It looks meat-like.
Perfect. Yeah. It's literally like imagine chicken of the woods, but it's like beef of the woods.
Oh,
I'm gonna guess. I'm willing to bet money on the fact that when we started today, Buck had no idea that we would be like emotionally tormenting this prisoner.
yeah.
Yeah.
You guys went very quick to being like, what is he doing to this poor person? All the way to, what can we do to this poor motherfucker?
Correct. He fucked with the wrong person, unfortunately for him.
like they comes down here with redemption, and they're like, well, redemption your ass. Like,
Best part is we haven't even gotten to what we came down here.
That's true.
no, you
That's true.
haven't.
No, I briefly went feral for a second, so.
But at least you know that Blink is out there somewhere.
That's true. That's true. Okay. So, like, literally, like, the beef thing gets it out of his system. So, like, panting, he turns over to Crowe, who's, okay, I'm sorry you had to see that. I believe in a different kind of rehabilitation. Anyway.
Yeah, so he's like, I'll be honest, I don't know where the hell that came from. But, well,
Yeah, I Blink was a very, very close friend of mine who went through very hard times, and I just found out that he is responsible for many of those hard times. So, it's just a matter of like little, yeah. Sorry,
Let's grow with family, basically.
Deku nods. I would actually like to take out the friendship bracelet that Blink made me fucking 10 years ago. And like I still have it. It's like literally and it's like a master craft work too. Like I don't know if you remember this, but it was literally like iron it was like treated, and then he managed to actually set in Zoran Flint Rock into the into a little bracelet.
yes.
Essentially so that I would always have that if I needed it. You know, I would always have a way to like start a fire to like keep the survival going, you know, so that because you know, I was going through like cold nights in Zora's Domain and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, it was like kind of like, I believe it was made with the like pendant that he had that was literally just caked in like paint. Like, yeah.
It definitely was one of his earlier pieces.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so yeah, technically speaking, I show off what is like a very delicate, like good, well crafted piece of jewelry. So there is that.
Yes.
But yeah. And I just kind of explained that to Crowe, briefly. And just the fact that, this guy's responsible kind of just it kind of set me off because, Blink has a hard life as it is with the condition that he has, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Well, so as you
Leave Blink alone.
so as you take the time to explain all this to Link, or to Crow, and he kind of like is taking in the whole, situation as it has presented himself. He's like, maybe I would have better luck talking with a different prisoner. Yeah.
You probably would. You probably would.
Most likely.
But
But Deacon does have a question for you.
yes. So, can we move to like an empty cell so there's like a less audible drift, maybe?
Yeah. You know what? I mean, the latter part of the cells are pretty much well unoccupied, so we can go this way. And he kind of like grabs one of the torch sconces off the wall, and you start to travel into the deeper part of the dungeon. Yeah, you definitely see some unsightly things in some of these cells, and you like the deeper you go in, the deeper you start to realize that Link's and like drive for redeeming these prisoners, that there's actually some like good intention in it, that I mean, yeah, he's saying what he says and he believes what he says, but there's also kind of an underlying thought that because pretty much when they're thrown down here, like they are forgotten about, for for the most part. So there is a good bit of like not guilt that he has anything to do with it, but guilt that he knows that this is going on. And if these people do want to like have a shot at some type of redemption, that he is the best chance at it, but he also can't just willy-nilly go to Zelda and be like, hey, I think you should let this prisoner go, I think they learned their lesson. Like he needs to do the work, and this is kind of his I don't want to call it like a pet project in terms of like referring to people as a pet project, but this is for him very much the redemption is something to give meaning and purpose to his life.
You can do a lot worse than being a redemption paladin, I will say that much.
True.
I asked him, so I asked him, like, how that's been working for him. Like, has he had much success with anybody? Sorry, I will get to the question I came here with soon, but I really want to hear about this.
Honestly, I think that I could probably do a little better, but I mean, honestly, if and that's he just comes at you with like these like platitudes where he's like, if I could save just one person, it'll be completely worth it, and blah blah blah. But yeah, he's you kind of like get the impression that he's not exactly entirely sure what he's doing, and he's not sure if he's on like a good path, but it is still something that if it pans out to be something positive, then he'll be happy that he's done something and brought some
It's still on
good
what?
in.
Sorry.
What's that?
Nothing. You cut out for a second. He said still on something, and then I think it was just you pausing. I apologize.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you know, if he could bring some something positive into this world without actually having to kill somebody for a change, you
Would
know,
be nice.
such as Ganon, then yeah, it would be a positive twist on something, whereas like the perceived positivities in his life have brought him nothing
an
but
idea.
negativity at this point, up until this point.
Oh, I have an idea.
Yes.
You want to save someone, right? You don't want to kill anybody. Right?
I mean, it sounds like a bit of an oversimplification, but I'm listening.
I actually know a person that could really use someone's help right now. I think you know him, Matt.
And who might that be?
Robbie.
You said Robbie? Oh,
Unfortunately, is being captured, but right now he's not in a good mental state the last time. If you go talk to him, maybe you can, keep him from using it.
you said like Robbie the Sheikah artificer.
Yes.
Okay.
Robbie that we know that is building, a mecha sister.
Mecha sister, yeah. It's like, well, I mean, me and Robbie aren't that close, but I mean, I could check in on him on your behalf, you know. I mean, it's been a while.
Idea.
It's been a while since I stepped out of the castle walls.
It'll help you. It'll help him. He probably needs a friend that he can talk to, and when he can be like, I should attack them, and you can be like, here are all the reasons why you shouldn't.
All right,
And he'll understand because you're,
give me persuasion.
Can I give him an inspiration or something?
Absolutely.
Cool. Hey, nice. That's good. Hey, nice. That's amazing.
It's like, well, I mean, it's not like I'd be running into any trouble along the field, and I guess it would stretch my legs a little better than just walking around the castle all day.
I hate to say it, but I think Kato could probably use it.
Sorry, say that again.
What?
I hate to say it, but I think Kato could use you to go away for a little bit.
I mean, that's not really here nor there for me, but I'm sure he wouldn't mind. He
again, easy person to go help.
Well, I mean, not saying nothing, but if it's so easy, how come you guys haven't helped him? I wasn't even aware of the situation.
The fact that we're trying to fight, trying to fix the temples, and then in the future probably Ganon, along with other mysteries that we keep finding. Rehab and everything. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, to be honest, we've been really busy and stuff, and that's kind of why we're asking you, is because, well, it's not, not that it's like the hardest thing, but at the same time, it's not something we're really in a position to help him with. He needs someone who can be more consistent than we're able to be. Like, it's more about, like, reaching out over time and stuff like that, and time just isn't something that we frequently have, in the sense of, how we have a weird relationship with time. So the fact of it kind of escaping us is just, it's not much we can do to help that. Like, do you get what I mean? Like, It's more
Honestly,
like he needs like a friend. And sorry, what were you saying?
I mean, honestly, I completely understand what you're saying. I believe it or not, that there was a time when I very much found myself, in your very shoes, your collective shoes, and I mean, I think that is a good idea and something that may bring better results than what I'm trying to do here. However, I will say because something that Lito has said has definitely piqued my my cautionary warning on this. Like I am no stranger to becoming sidetracked when there's a larger task at hand. I remember when I was a kid. There were so many fun things to do. Play with the slingshots and at the target practice game, and ride horses, and there was so many things that would just kind of distract me from the bigger things at hand, and then there were also things that I would not do. And as time has gone forward, the one definitive thing that I can say is that it really is those closest to you that deserve to be looked after with the most care. And Robbie is someone that you guys greatly do care about, and for that reason I will go and check on him and see what if and when anything can be done. But make time to see him as well.
We will. Thanks, Crowe. That's a good point.
Crowe, before you leave, I got a question. You fought a lot of bad guys in your time, and I know you're kind of retired and moved on to bigger and better things. You're helping criminals to like reform. Do you believe that everyone can be redeemed, or at least everyone should have the chance to be redeemed, no matter how awful the things that they did, or is it just some people beyond that? Like you just know in your heart there's no way that they'll ever be reformed.
Well, I mean, on a personal note, I don't believe that it is impossible for anybody to change. But more importantly than that, my personal feelings on the matter are that whenever you give anybody an opportunity for anything, you are investing a part of yourself into that. And that's why when you put your faith in somebody and they break that faith and trust, that's why it causes you physical pain. And make no mistake, like most people, it isn't a mental hurt, the betrayal. It is something that manifests itself as a physical pain. So you always need to be cautious to an extent in who you put your trust into, but you should be more giving with your effort to help somebody, because it's a lot easier to recover from effort that did not bear fruit versus trust that was betrayed.
Okay. I mean, I think that's very wise, although I'll be honest, I'm still as confused as I was before. But I do think you almost exactly described how to make a phylactery, like putting part of yourself into someone else. And I mean, we should write that down. Try that.
Oh, interesting. I guess it all comes down to that in a way.
I mean, I wonder, have you ever made phylacteries for people?
Oh no.
huh.
They're not just for evil people.
Oh, I know. It's just I guess in taking my own advice, it's better to put effort into people than to put something else.
I so Crowe, I ran into this situation, right, where we met someone who was kind of really bad, right? But I don't remember being bad. Okay, so this is one question that I have to ask. Like, I don't know if I'm not trying to be too metagamey or anything, but like, as part of the Link legend, like, is this the from Kokiri Village Link? Like, would we know? Like, you don't have to tell me if he is or not, but would Deku know that sort of thing? Just from like stories.
Let me just do a quick thought to make sure that there's no contradiction in the stories. But yes, that this would be the Link that woke up in Kakariko Village in the beginning of Ocarina of Time.
Okay, cool. Okay, so what I'm going to basically explain is that they got turned into a skull kid, and I'll explain the whole like hunger demon thing, but without like telling him explicitly who it is. And I'm gonna say, unfortunately, this Trixie used to be someone who was very, very bad, but we don't know what we're going in there with unless we unless we kind of like so our thoughts are we could like obviously do away with her. We could also like let her be and do the energy vampire thing and hope try to get her not to kill anybody or something. But I mean, and if she still hurts them, are we liable? Are we like at fault for that? And then or like yeah, I don't do we. I don't know how much of a chance we give this person, based on who they used to be, and the fact that at any time, like a delayed blast fireball, their memories could all come back.
So essentially, you explain everything to Crow except for the fact that you're talking about Trixie, who is Katage. Like, just that part you
Yes.
leave out. Okay.
Yes, I leave out the. I am slightly vague about who they used to be. I do not mention that she is Katagi.
Okay. So, so Link says, he goes, well, I mean, I think that I've expressed that I have a belief in redemption, a belief in having things, that were wrong in the past corrected in a future. But again, it falls down to what are I mean, using a phylactery as an analogy works on many levels with this. I know I don't anticipate that you're attempting to create a phylactery for this person, but in essence you kind of are the symbolic phylactery for this person, where what the future holds for this person, this person can and anybody has a boundless life ahead of them at any given point,
Hey,
and I don't
Link,
feel
I mean, it's Katage. Deacon didn't tell you that, but I think we need to tell you that.
I was
It's
just
Katage.
I wanted to hear what you were thinking, but admittedly, yeah. I mean, I guess with the information does really make it a different case. It is Katagi
It's a guy
but
reborn
it's
as a
there's
skull child who doesn't have any memory.
No.
Well, it has been some time since I heard that name, and I guess that would explain why. But somebody becomes a Skull Kid because they have unfinished business at the time of their death, and yeah,
I thought that was just because they got lost in the Lost Woods.
No, they have unfinished business.
Did
I
not
mean,
know
like, I mean, if you have unfinished business and you just die, you know, just like walking around like you're gonna die. But one of the mystical properties of the Lost Woods is if you die with unfinished business in the Lost Woods, you become a Skull Kid.
Huh.
So,
Interesting.
you know, and I could sit here and take my personal feelings on the matter, but I don't think you would need me to explain that part to you. So, you know, I will omit that from what I'm saying. But if Katagi did become a Skull Kid, and if she does not remember her past because she does not remember her name, it presents a unique opportunity for not only her but for everyone who she would have affected to have a chance at a better life. If you do or would deem it necessary to snuff out that possibility, then I'm sure that it would bring many good things to many people, but you will also never know what good things may have come from it.
Can someone become a Skull Kid if they have a phylactery? Like, if they die and would be reborn, but they have unfinished business?
I mean, that is a complicated question, one which I don't feel I could accurately answer, but to my understanding, if... well, let me think about it. I mean, from a literal standpoint, there would be a grace period before phylactery would revive you, and I'm unaware of there being a grace period from when a person dies to when a person becomes a Skull Kid. So just going off those two bits of information that I have, and again, I cannot say this definitively, I do believe that if you have a phylactery, you could still become a Skull Kid.
Well, that's complicating, but maybe we could use that to our advantage to defeat other people. Like Gome might have a phylactery, but if we could just somehow, I don't know, kill her, unfinished business, regrets, blah, 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 she would become a Skull Kid too.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to by any means tell you what to do, but I will point out the possibility, and again, take this as you will, but if Kome was betrayed by her sister and she has unfinished business, that unfinished business might be revenge. And if she...
Yeah, we could accidentally finish that business for her if we're not careful.
Well,
if we are careful.
You may find yourselves in the presence of a potentially strong ally. You know, one of the oldest sayings is the enemy of my enemy is my friend. But again, I don't want to insert my opinions into a situation that could cause any type of irreparable harm. I am simply spitballing ideas here.
Hey, one last question.
Yeah.
Could you show us one of those really cool spin attacks that you do? I just want to see one. I'd ask you to teach me. I couldn't do it though.
All right.
Golly, give him a sword. Just once, but don't have to hit anyone. Just want to see it.
All right. But only because, you know, you flattered me so much earlier. Golly, what do you hand him?
I toss in a flame tongue.
All right, so he takes the flame tongue, and he holds it, and he goes into an adjacent cell, like the cell across from where you guys are talking. So there's like a full, more area to move around, and he looks. He has a look on his face like he really hasn't held a sword in a very long time.
I think we should probably back up.
Yeah, let's back up.
I have a scimitar instead of a flame tongue, which is more dangerous.
Oh, he is happily holding the sword.
Okay.
I read a book like this. It's about a kid that used like a monk. It's a drunken monk style. It's called Drunk Monk Kid.
And it happens very quickly. He takes just a small pivot on his right foot. And he launches into a spin attack with the flame tongue sword.
I didn't tell him the activation word.
The attack lasts a fraction of a second. But when it's finished, every single bar in that cell is cleanly sliced through, and on each top and bottom piece where the metal has been sliced, they are just glowing with red.
Oh, that was so cool. Oh my gosh, that was so cool.
He hands the sword back to Gully and he goes, "Thanks."
Yeah, welcome. Looks like you still got it.
I guess I still got it, and I didn't know I needed it, but damn, that felt good.
Come join us sometime.
Maybe there will become a time when our paths cross. But
That sounds good, Crowe. That sounds good.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. But you know what? I am gonna go check on Robbie. I'll check him out, see what he's doing, see if I can brighten up his day, and I won't give up on these guys either. But maybe I'll also find somebody who can cast some heat metal and fix up the cell too. He goes, you know what? Why don't I take a walk with you guys? I'll walk you guys out. How's that?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys start walking. You start making your way back out of the dungeon, heading towards the stairs, making your way up, and as you do, you're all conversing with Crowe. He's like, one of the things he divulges, he's like, the first time when I saw you guys, I'll admit, there was a part of me that thought to myself, I was like, there's a bunch of you guys and only one of me, and it's going to take all of you to do what one of me did. And I didn't have a whole lot of faith, but I was looking through the lenses the wrong way, because it's not just physical abilities that set the lot of you off on this path, but how you all are together, you know. And the last time when I was in your position, I made friends and I met people, and you know, it was not entirely a solo journey for me, but in large part it was. And you know, seeing all of you accomplishing this, I'm aware where I made my shortcomings. I'm aware where I made my mistakes. And part of me was worried that you would fall into the same, you know, victim to fate that I felt that I was, but not only have you proven me wrong, but I'm beginning to see another way.
Deacon will smile at him, and he's gonna say, "Well, Crowe, you see, it not just something you have to thing is that you've gone through. I mean, you have us now to count on, and we do stuff. And you know, like you said, I think you'd be welcome with us if you ever wanted to travel, get to know us a little better. You know, I mean, you know, of course, much like what you said earlier, one thing I notice is it not usually things that me do that me regret, for most part. It things that me not do.
Yeah. You know, I think I'm definitely beginning to see that. But as I've said, I believe that at some point our paths will cross, but right now that is not what lies before me.
That's okay. Well, thanks for your help today, Crowe.
And thank you all as well. It has been becoming an increasing pleasure every time. So, with that, we come to the gates of Hyrule Castle with a lot of you, and Crowe for the first time is in quite possibly many years is seeing the sun not as it shines through the stained glass windows of the castle. And he squints and puts his hand up to shield part of himself from that. Before realizing what he's doing, he puts his hand down. And for a moment just basks and takes in the sunlight. And then lowers his head, takes a deep sigh, and starts to walk towards the castle gate, toward the gates leading out of the town. So, that looks like a good stopping point for tonight. So, we as the party are standing on the outskirts of Hyrule Castle Town, ready to venture onto any place. As many things we can do, many places we can go, many people we can see. Awesome session. We had. I'm happy, just as I'm sure everyone else is, that we have our party hall once again. We have gotten a little bit of detail into what we have been missing in Lito's absence, and we got some good things ahead of us. So, I want to thank everyone for tuning in for the night. I want to thank Gully, Deacon, and Stefan and Lito for joining us.
Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and do all that stuff so that way we know you follow and all that.
Yes, absolutely. Go check out our link tree. Click on all of our links. Check everything out. Don't forget about the voting in our on our Discord channel because Deacon needs to know what kind of macaroons he's gonna make me.
You'll find about macaroon flavors.
Yes, so all the macaroon flavors are listed on our voting channel. Once that is resolved, we will go and we'll take pictures and we'll just have a grand old time.
Hell yeah!
For those who don't understand what I'm talking about, in less than a month, I will be traveling back up to New York to spend some time with some friends, and it is a quick abbreviated trip, and I wish it was like I wish I could spend more time than there than I spend on the road getting to and from there, but yes.
Yeah.
So
I feel that.
Yeah, we will figure that out, and I'm also going to be bringing my girlfriend up there because she has not been. She actually when she lived in Connecticut when she was a kid, so she has not really. Yeah, so like there was like it's funny because like there was a local mall that like we both used to go to all the time when we were kids, and
oh shit,
yeah.
that's awesome.
I know, so it's like small fucking world. So we're gonna do stuff like go check out like that and do cram as much stuff as we possibly can into as little time as we have. And I'm still in the process of also brainstorming another way to surprise my son because he has no date that I'm coming up. Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh hell yeah, that's
Nice.
awesome.
It'd be good times.
Yeah. Did you guys see the video of when we did it last time?
I think I did. Yes.
I think so.
Yeah, I think because yeah. So I'll it's on my Instagram, but I'll see if I can post it at some point. But yeah, it was such a funny thing, such a sweet thing, and I've watched that video more times than I can count. So yeah. All right. So thank you everybody. Next week we have our chat session. Yeah, and we'll have a ball doing that. So once again, thank you everyone. We'll see you next time, and until then, be happy, healthy, safe, and cool. And bye.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.